Hey everybody, it's Allie and welcome to our Y&R chat for Sunday, November 20th, 2016. Okay, I think I'm going to be expressing an unpopular opinion this week. I can sometimes just tell when what I'm gonna say is probably not gonna be the majority opinion, but I gotta kind of stick with my gut here. I always try to watch the show, form my own opinions, make my little notes and things, and then look at your comments so that I'm not taking on other people's opinions, that I'm really kind of giving you my pure and unabashed opinion right up front. And here it is. Okay, Sharon did a bad thing. She did a really bad thing, but for once, at least she's not melting into a puddled mess. I feel like if all week Sharon was running around town telling everybody, I'm sorry, please forgive me, if she was in tears and drooling and sobbing all over the place, I would be coming on to Y&R chat and saying, come on Sharon, get a backbone. Own what you did, explain it, don't be a weenie about it. And honestly, I like seeing Sharon assert her side of the story. Look, the woman is not known for her stellar decision making. Sometimes her rationale, or rather her irrationale, is beyond my grasp. But at least this time, rather than just straight up begging for forgiveness, she's saying, hey, this is what I did, this is why I did it, and this is how I feel right now. This is who I am. And even though I probably would not have decided to go to GC Buzz to air my own side of the story, my own dirty laundry for everybody in the world to hear, at least I think it's a good idea to put yourself out there. I probably would have just gone to the family and tried to explain myself, but Sharon decided to be a little bit strong. I think that took some guts to go in front of the world and try to at least set her record straight. As crazy as it sounds, she didn't want people to think that the situation was she just stole a baby and then kept it from Nick. That's not exactly how black and white it was. There was so much more that led up to the situation that she's finding herself in today. I liked that Hillary let her tell her side of the story, seemed empathetic toward her. I thought the interview was going really well. I'd be interested to know what the comments at GC Buzz were saying about Sharon's interview, because we didn't really get any follow-up because Dylan just yanks her out of the chair. He finds out from Mariah that Sharon is giving this public interview, and he literally walks in and pulls her out of the chair and takes her aside and says, what are you doing? Why, I mean, you can't do this. You can't go and just tell this story. And in Dylan's defense, I think he really truly does have her best interest at heart. I really like that even though Dylan has been hurt almost, just as much as anybody else in this situation, I like that he's at least trying to put his own feelings aside and trying to help his wife. He's trying to be her advocate. And oddly, it didn't really occur to me, I don't know if this is just me being out of touch, but it didn't occur to me that as Sharon was saying everything she was saying to Hillary, that it was amounting to a confession that she committed a crime on live TV. And sure enough, it didn't take very long for the cops to show up at the GC Buzz offices, slap the cuffs on her, and haul her down to the station. Hillary didn't miss a beat in getting that on camera, so I'm wondering if we're gonna see some follow-up on the Genoa City public reaction next week, if Hillary decides to air that footage or decides to follow up on the story. I think so. I think Hillary is gonna be there to cover this from the public angle, which is kind of cool. It's cool writing that we're getting this outside perspective, almost a public's perspective, almost a fan's perspective on what's going down with Sharon. I think it's a really kind of a clever way that YNR has chosen to unfold this story. But Sharon winds up getting arrested. She's down at the police station. She's being questioned by poor Paul. Paul has been through so much in his lifetime. He has Dylan, the son that he never knew about. He had a son that was kept away from him, or that for one reason or another he wasn't able to be around, and he empathizes with Dylan, doesn't want Dylan to get hurt, and it's really hard to not want to lash out at Sharon. I think as one of the family members or as the affected, it would be really hard to just say, oh yeah, Sharon, we see your side of the story. It's cool. We're going to let this all go. So please don't think that I'm not seeing that there is, of course, an argument to be made against Sharon. And I think Paul, even as compassionate as he is, was having a really hard time putting that aside to just do his job and try to question her when he's dealing with all of this on his own. I really loved, though, it was fun to see Christine dig into Sharon and ask all of the questions that she wanted to ask. I love that she brought up old Sherry Coleman, the old Sherry Coleman storyline, when I think, I'm pulling this strictly from memory, I've done no backup research, but I believe it was when Sharon was accused of Sky's murder. She decided to break out of jail through the ladies' restroom and go on the lam, and she ended up in this farmer's, I don't know, I think she ended up in his barn or something. It was Sam. Do you guys remember Sam? And she came up with this alias Sherry Coleman, and she started falling in love with this farmer guy. She eventually brought him back to Genoa City, and he didn't quite fit into the life there. It was very similar to what happened with Victor and Hope, except Victor wasn't on the run. But I thought that was a really cool pull. I wasn't expecting YNR to even bring that up whatsoever. I'm wondering if it's going to be a little bit of foreshadowing there. Is there a reason YNR brought up the fact that Sharon has run from the law, or that Sharon is someone who at least it has occurred to run away from the situation? It's even occurred to her at a certain point this week after she got off the hook. I don't know. But Dylan goes to Nick while Sharon is in custody, and he asks Nick to see if there's anything he can do to, at least not press charges, to not testify against Sharon, anything that Nick can do to help mediate this situation. Dylan is hoping that he will do in order to help her. And Nick didn't really take it. He wasn't really jumping on board to rescue Sharon the way he has so many other times. It was Chelsea who followed up the conversation with Dylan, tried to talk to Nick, tried to convince Nick to have a little bit of empathy for Sharon. Chelsea's role throughout this entire week, as a matter of fact, cannot be understated. Chelsea is affecting a lot of Nick's thinking right now. I don't think that Nick's reaction to any of this would have been the same if it weren't for Chelsea being right there to talk him through it. And it's interesting to me because I think that Nick probably would be more furious with Sharon if Chelsea weren't there in the background talking him down and trying to present another side of the situation. So Nick does ultimately decide to ride in to Sharon's rescue and tell Chris and Paul that he will not testify against her. Nick has been doing this for years now. The irony was not lost on any of the viewers or him, frankly, I'm sure. But the real surprise shocker of the week was that Nick took it even a step further. He didn't just get Sharon out of jail, which is a big deal. He could have let her sit there and rot for years, and he didn't do that. But beyond that, when Nick showed up with Sharon and Dylan at the children's birthday party, oh my gosh, face crack of the century. I was so, like, my jaw dropped. Everybody in the room's jaw dropped. Nick walks in with Sharon and Dylan, I think on either side of him, carrying presents, while the Newmans and the Abbotts are all gathered there at the ranch celebrating the kid's birthday party, including Christian. Nobody could believe that Sharon and Dylan would have the nerve to be there and that it was okay. I mean, Nick had them flanked on either side. They were his guests. It was so shocking to everybody, including me. I thought it was fabulous. I cannot help but mention that I loved what Sharon was wearing this week. Just let me tangent for 1 second to talk about that sweater she was wearing. Well, first of all, she walked into that party with this really beautiful overcoat. It looked like tweed or something. It seemed like it was a little bit, not quite a 3/4, but it had sort of a shorter sleeve. And then when she took that off, OMG, that sweater that she was wearing, it was pretty much your basic gray kind of cable knit sweater. It seemed a little extra fuzzy or cashmere or something, but it was almost deconstructed to where they took apart the back and the sleeves and replaced it with this, I don't know, what was it, like daisy, or even if it was snowflake, I don't know what it was, but this lacy material. It just looked so cool. She looked so good in it. I want to break into the ranch and steal that sweater. I want that sweater. I would wear that sweater. She looked so beautiful for all of this. And yes, I'm a Sharon fan, but you gotta admit the fashion was on point for the whole party. I mean, I can't help myself. I was noticing it, the way everybody was looking. I thought Abby looked really good at that party. Did you notice that weird matador jacket she had on? It was black and it had this almost bedazzled or bejeweled elements on it. She looked like a matador, those little jackets that they wear, but it was cute because she had it paired with these bell-bottom jeans, and her hair was up in this sort of like half braid bun. Abby just looked really good. I thought Chelsea looked really chic. It was maybe a little bit much for a children's birthday party. It was a little classy for a 1-year-old's party, but at the same time, she looked really chic. I thought Nikki's hair was perfect. Everybody just looked so good. And the party was so fun. It was this re-birthday party for Christian, and it was also a regular birthday party for Katie and Victoria. And it was just a brilliant way, I think, to bring the Abbotts and the Newmans together under one roof. Gave me some fashion to talk about, gave us some intertwining stories. It was good to see, Jill there. And I mean, you wouldn't normally see Billy at Victor's house, except if there was a fight or something. It was just kind of cool to be able to see different, members of the families and of the cast interacting with one another. So I thought that was just sort of a brilliant way to give us something fun to talk about. I really liked that at the beginning of the party, Victor was being this perfect family man. Did you guys notice that he was so glowing to just have his family all together under one roof? He loves seeing the kids running around. He, of course, had to give his gifts to the children. He gave a silver piggy bank with a silver dollar to little Christian, his namesake, and then he gave this cute little pearl necklace to Katie. I'm surprised that no one got a pony. No, Faith got a pony. Why didn't the other two kids get a pony? I guess the pony birthday must be down the road. Your first birthday, you get something, something small. As you get older and earn your stripes as a Newman, as you get closer to Victor needing you to do something for him, then he starts breaking out the ponies. So this was understated, but it was really nice to see Victor and Nikki hosting this rebirthday party. I really liked seeing them connecting together until, whoa, out of nowhere, Victor really turned harsh on Dylan. I was kind of confused for that, and it was really pretty insulting to Nikki. I don't know. He even said something like, "Look, at some point you're gonna have to choose one son over another," or just implying that she's not allowed to have empathy for both of her sons. It was so rude and selfish of Victor. I was happy with him, and then in a moment I was like, "Victor, just shut up." I mean, no one can expect anyone, really, and I don't expect anyone to take it easy on Sharon, especially not Nikki and Victor. She did burn their house down, but what the hell wrong did Dylan do? Nobody wanted Sharon there, and it was completely expected, but also completely awkward. I almost can't believe that Sharon would accept the invitation. I can't believe that she would have the nerve to walk in the door and show her face at that party, which yet again is another example of Sharon just deciding, hey, this is me, this is what happened. I'm not going to stay away or turn down an opportunity to be around Sully / Christian if I have a chance. So, I mean, Sharon actually, I think it took some nerve to do that, good or bad. She was there. Nobody wanted her there. Everybody was really gritting their teeth and having a hard time passing up opportunities to dig into her. And I think that Sharon is someone who you want to forgive, don't you? I mean, I think a lot of the viewers want to forgive her, but my question for you this week is, has Sharon earned that forgiveness? I think that's a good question to put out there because I can tell that the fans are divided about this. I think there are people like me who really want to believe in Sharon and want to see her succeed and are constantly disappointed by her lack of good decision making. And then there are people who are like, wait a minute, look at what the woman did. Can we just have a moment of rationality here? She hasn't shown remorse. She has an attitude about what's going on now. She needs to be more apologetic for what she's done. So let's use that as this week's poll question. Has Sharon earned forgiveness? YRChat.com if you would like to sound off and give me your opinion, your side of the Sharon debacle. I think it's good. I think it's going to be pretty divided, even just from the comments and things that I've read so far. I think Sharon is one of those characters that, like Victor in a way, I guess, that where you either love them or you hate them or you love to hate them. I mean, it's just, she becomes a very divisive character. The one thing that I can't get around is that Sharon loves that baby. I think that she really, really does, and that she also didn't ask to have that baby, but she still feels like his mother, and she is, I think, kind of unfortunately at this point for her, she doesn't see or accept that he's not her baby. She is still calling him Sully. She is still having a hard time making that connection, which in her defense wouldn't disappear overnight in the same way that, for instance, Jack's love for Phyllis didn't disappear overnight. Sharon's love for her son didn't disappear overnight. And you can call her selfish, certainly, for keeping the secret and for keeping the child, but at the same time, I think she was doing it for him. She wanted to be his mother. She wanted him to have her as a mother. She did take care of the baby, and she didn't ask for any of this. But the thing is, I wonder if the fact that she still feels so connected to Sully / Christian could make her dangerous. I wonder if we are entering into a period where Sharon is not exactly connecting in with what the real reality of the situation is, and I wonder if she's going to do something off the hook. Nick is being a lot more merciful toward her than I ever would have expected him to be. Even if he's not doing it for Sharon, he is at least kind of allowing her a little bit of leeway, probably because they share children together, also because he has been asked and I think feels empathy for Dylan and what Dylan's gone through. I mean, Sharon's lost 2 babies, Dylan's lost 2 babies too. It's heartbreaking all the way around. And Chelsea's guilt over the lie that she kept from Dylan, coupled with the lie that she's keeping from Nick now, has really put her in a key position for all of the stuff that's going down with Nick, all of the reactions that he's having toward Sharon. Now, last week's poll question was, should Chelsea tell Nick that he might not be Christian's father? 62% of you said yes. 38% of you said no. It seems like most of the people who said yes, Chelsea needs to just tell Nick, are, I think, probably looking for that drama, wanting the truth to come out, just wanting to see how that's going to unfold. Most of the comments I saw of people saying that Chelsea should keep her mouth shut about the whole paternity thing, people were commenting that they really just didn't want to see Nick hurt all over again. What good would it do to unleash this secret when there's Adam's gone? I mean, there's nothing else that can really be done. Leave the child in an environment where he can thrive with Nick and with Sage, who was his mother. So it's interesting. I think I'd like to see the secret come out just for the drama of the situation, but I can see the other side of it too. By the way, Victor is slowly but surely pushing Nick and Chelsea together. Did you notice this week? He, of course, had to take her aside and tell her, it wouldn't be such a bad thing if you decided to play an active role in Christian and Nick's life. I think Adam would be okay with that. So that tells me, by the way, that if Adam is alive, Victor probably doesn't know it. I can't imagine that he would encourage Adam's wife to, subtly to build a little family with Nick and Connor and Christian if he knew that Adam was still alive out there. But that's neither here nor there. We can't stop talking about Adam even though the man is gone. But it's hard not to when Chelsea's getting nice and comfortable with Nick. They're having beer and chips and looking at pictures and enjoying their kids together, and they're bonding, and it is all very cute. She's become kind of a surrogate mom to Christian and even to Faith now. It was really, to me, a little bit shocking this week that there was a lot of focus on Friday's show as Faith drops a bomb on Dylan and Sharon, telling them that she wants to go live with Nick. I didn't know that was going to happen, and it was a really very powerful scene. I mean, as soon as Faith is open about her feelings with her mom and Dylan, Sharon shuts it down pretty quick. She doesn't want to lose Faith. She just lost Sully, and she doesn't want to lose her other daughter too. But there's this really wonderful scene where Faith has this heart-to-heart moment with Dylan and opens up about how she's really feeling about her mom. I mean, even Sharon's children are having a hard time accepting that this is something she did. And, instead of going on Juicy Buzz, Sharon, maybe you should be taking some more time to explain yourself and bond with the kids that you already have, because even little Faith doesn't get it. She says to Dylan, what mom did was mean. It was mean, and it was mean to you, it was mean to my dad, it was mean to Christian, and frankly, I don't want to be around her right now. It was really kind of shocking to see how mature Faith was in those scenes. I mean, I've been a little critical of Faith and how the family treats her like she is an adult. But I thought that she really showed herself to be very mature. I thought the actress did a really nice job in those scenes, and I wasn't annoyed. I was not annoyed by Faith in the way that she was displaying this honesty and maturity. And sometimes I think that kids at that age are, in their honesty, they are very mature. And I just thought it was a really great scene. Dylan ends up taking Faith to Nick without Sharon knowing about it, without Sharon's permission. Sharon comes out from the other room, and Faith and Dylan are just gone. Dylan's got Faith down at Nick's tack house. Faith says to Nick simply, I don't want to live in this sad house anymore. I want to live with you. I want to be happy. What's going on with my mom is uncomfortable for me, and I don't want to be a part of that. Chelsea ends up taking her upstairs, and we saw Faith's little bedroom set, which was kind of fun. I just love that Y&R's given us these new little scenes. It's fresh. It's refreshing. I liked seeing Faith's bedroom and Chelsea with her upstairs trying to talk her through it, and I thought that was another good scene where Chelsea didn't sugarcoat things and treat Faith like she was a little child. She really tried to talk to her as if she were an equal, and even sharing stories about how she felt about her mom. But once again, it's a situation where Chelsea could have brought down the hammer on Sharon, but knows that that wouldn't have been the right thing to do, and instead tried to at least smooth things over on Sharon's behalf a little bit, which is not the first time Chelsea did that. She tried to smooth things over at the party when Victoria wanted to attack Sharon. So Chelsea has really played such an important role throughout this entire thing, and it's so unexpected to me. And of course, we know that Chelsea has some motive. There's some reasons behind why she's doing that, but it's really been kind of a wonderful surprise, I think. But downstairs, Dylan and Nick are talking to one another, and Dylan tells Nick that he feels what's going on in the house with he and Sharon is really not a good environment for Faith. He has just talked to her and got Faith's perspective on it, and he agreed with her and asked if Nick would be willing to take Faith at least on a temporary basis, which I will admit, I immediately thought, whoa, that's kind of not Dylan's decision to make. Even as Dylan was walking Faith out the door, I thought, he's doing this without Sharon's permission. That doesn't seem right. And then as he's talking to Dylan, I'm thinking, it's not, Faith isn't your child. Faith is Sharon and Nick's child. And while you're married to Sharon, and of course you have a right and opinion and all of that, it's just, it seemed a little like Dylan was overstepping. Was I the only one who felt that way? I'm not, and I don't think it was coming from a place of defending Sharon. I think it was more just, whoa, it just seemed like he was a complete disregard for what Sharon wanted, although maybe Dylan is just taking a directive from what she did to him. I mean, she went and made decisions about his life that he had no control over, so in a way, maybe that's sort of his passive way of doing the same thing. I don't know, but oh Lord, when Dylan gets home and tells her that he's made the decision that Faith is going to go stay with Nick, she was pissed. I mean, she was absolutely incensed. She screamed out probably one of the greatest lines from the entire week. Dylan, you keep taking my children and handing them off to Nick. That was good. That was so good. And it just, like, in a nutshell, said everything that we all know that Sharon was feeling at the time. That was just so good. And then in kind of this shocking twist, she's so mad at him, she kicks him out. I was not expecting that from Sharon either. That's not a crumple up into a puddle of sadness type move, collapse on the floor thing that I would expect from Sharon. She was so mad about it that she kicked him out of the house and he just left. And I don't know if maybe that was just a heat of the moment kind of move, but I'm wondering now if the unraveling of Sharon and Dylan's relationship, which we know is going to happen, is going to play out completely against my expectations. I'm wondering if maybe Sharon is going to be the one to leave. I wonder if Sharon's going to leave Dylan. Or I don't know, maybe Sharon is going to try to leave town and take Christian and Faith with her. I cannot ignore the little foreshadowing, little eggs, Easter eggs that seem to have been dropped at a couple points during the week. Is Sharon going to flee with Christian and Faith, or is Sharon going to sue for custody of Christian and or Faith? I don't know. Either way, I just don't think that Sharon is done fighting. Oh, Travis, why did you betray me? I mean, Victoria. I am heartbroken right now. Travis went ahead and had his drunken romp with Michelle. I am so disappointed in him. And of course, in true soap opera form, he is having sex with another woman just as Victoria is softening up on him after this really unexpected pep talk from Billy. What was that all about? I'm so confused. Last week, Billy was ready to tamp down Travis into a cannon and shoot him off to the moon. And then this week he's telling her that Travis is a good guy who can make her happy? It doesn't make sense to me. I feel that's very storyline driven and less character driven. Like we're just trying to set up Billy to look like the good guy so we can all be happy when Billy and Victoria reunite, while Travis is hanging out on the sidelines looking like a scumbag, which he does. Okay, Travis does look like a scumbag right now because of what he did, and he is. I mean, not only did he sleep with Michelle, but he comes home and sleeps with Victoria pretty much immediately after. Ew, okay, ew. I am a big Travis fan, as you all know, and I was feeling sick watching that. It made me actually feel ill as Travis is putting his lips on Victoria after he's had his lips on Michelle, and just, it was so hard to watch. Although, I mean, I have to say, the actor was amazing all week. This guy is really good. I hope Y&R has plans to keep him around because I did feel Travis's slide into feeling dirty and disgusting and deceitful and just drained of all that is good in him. I saw him go from, I mean, in the course of the past couple of weeks, from this golden boy where he's got the girl and he's got the job and smile and he's floating around the office knowing everybody's name, even the cook at Newman Enterprises, and we've just seen him slide all the way down into the mud, and the actor took us there. I really believed it. I saw it. It played on his face. He looked just ruined in the ruins of his life. It played so well. I really like this actor. Did you know that he's a lawyer? The guy who plays Travis, his name is Michael Rourke. I don't know if he practices currently, but he's also a lawyer. So he's an actor hottie / lawyer, 2 words, total package. Is this guy married? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like he could be married with 5 kids and I'd still be like, but it's not blinding me totally to what he did this week. I mean, he's just not going to be able to sleep with another woman and have me forgive him immediately and let him back into my life. Oh, I love this show. Anywho, enter Billy. So Billy happens to sit down right next to a post having sex with Travis Michelle at the athletic bar, and Billy sees a text message come through to her phone from Travis, and now after having just sang Travis's praises, his alarm bells go off. He goes to Ashley, asks her what's up. Ashley goes directly to Michelle, who last week told her she didn't even know Travis lives here? Oh, I didn't know about that. And Ashley goes and calls her out, and Michelle has no problem giving a complete confession to Ashley, saying, yeah, I saw him, I knew it, we slept together. I mean, just let it all rip. And I loved Ashley Ashley's advice. She started out so great with just looking at Michelle and saying, look, if you need some company, get a cat. But leave Travis alone. The man is happy and you don't need him. He's got a life here in Genoa City. You can go back to New York City and have any man, so why don't you do that? I was so proud of Ashley in that moment, and then it all kind of turned and got weird. Ashley goes to Travis, gives him an ultimatum, which I wasn't entirely surprised by. She said, you go tell Victoria or I'm gonna tell her. I mean, honestly, Ashley's role in this has been a little bit puzzling because I was surprised that Ashley wouldn't immediately take this information as an opportunity to drive a wedge between Travis and Victoria, because it would open up a space for Billy to get back in there. And it seems like everybody in the families are on team Billy Victoria. They share children, they share a life. For the most part, I think that Victoria was probably better for Billy than Billy was for Victoria. I'm not gonna lie, and I think you guys possibly might agree with that. But I was surprised that Ashley was supportive somewhat of Travis. It really almost didn't make sense. But it seemed like she was supporting Travis and she was going to keep quiet about the whole thing. And then she turns around and she tells Billy everything. She tells Billy that Travis slept with Michelle, which sends Billy through the roof. Not only did he just try to advocate for Travis and Victoria's relationship, but now he finds out the guy just slept with somebody else behind Victoria's back. How did Ashley think that he was going to react to this situation? She's trying to pull him back from the ledge, saying, don't do anything, don't say anything to Victoria, let her be happy. And even says, why don't we give Travis a second chance? Doesn't Travis deserve a second chance? I can't believe that Ashley's position was, let's just let Victoria be happy with a man who just cheated on her and is lying to her. Why? What's the rationale, Ashley? And how can you expect Billy, of all people, to follow that rationale? I can't follow that rationale. At home, Travis is seeming like he's going to make a full confession to Victoria. I thought that the deal was he had to go home and tell Victoria everything about the affair, or Ashley was going to tell Victoria herself. And he didn't do that. Instead, he tells her this half-truth and tells her that Michelle's in town, but didn't happen to mention how he accidentally fell into bed with her while he was drunk. And which is just probably, and honestly, the second biggest mistake he's made this week, okay? The first biggest mistake was sleeping with her in the first place. Second biggest mistake was not just fessing up and telling Victoria. But Travis is so desperate to cover up this dirty little deed, which too many people already know. You're not going to be able to hide this. Too many people already know. And he thinks that he can strong-arm Michelle into keeping his secret and leaving town, and that's going to make the whole thing go away. And frankly, while I think that Michelle does seem like a troublemaker, Travis does not have the right to take his mistakes out on her. You know what I mean? He goes there and he's just really aggressive with her, telling her to get out of town. Well, it's not her fault that you slept with her. So don't treat her like crap. If you want to be mad at anybody, be mad at yourself, because you're the one who created this entire mess. Travis is someone, I think, who wants to run from his mistakes. He tried to run from the mess that he created for himself in New York City. He has already tried once to run from the mess that he created in Genoa City by sailing away off into the blue. And I guess if running from his problems doesn't work, then the next best thing he's going to do is put a ring on it, which to me just adds, it's the cherry on top of the big disaster that has become Travis and his life. It's deceitful. It's actively deceitful now. It's the equivalent of an emotional smoke bomb. Just dazzle Victoria with this romantic proposal, and maybe she won't smell Michelle's perfume on your pants. Last week ended with Jack and Phyllis in a pretty intense make-out session lip lock, which Jack really quickly pulled away from, and he lashed out at Phyllis about, as if it was her fault that they were making out in his office. The thing is, Jack and Phyllis have passion. They have love, but I think Jack can't entirely look at her the same way after she slept with his brother, and I completely can't blame him. But it doesn't make the passion and the love go away. So instead, Jack is suppressing his feelings for Phyllis. He's fondling her signature on the divorce papers. Has he not signed those yet, by the way? I thought that was over and done. I thought that Jack and Phyllis were divorced, but did you guys notice that? It seems like they are not. It seems like Jack is dragging his feet on signing the divorce papers. So that tells me that these two are probably destined to get back together. I don't know if it's going to be sooner or if it's going to be later, but I think that it's written on the wall. So where are you guys on this, on the Jack and Phyllis situation? Are they destined to get back together? Are we supposed to forget about the Billy and Phyllis affair? Is he supposed to forget about it? I really did like, even though I feel that way, I did like and of course appreciate, thank you, the angel from heaven descending down upon our show named Tracy. I loved seeing Tracy back this week. I'm kind of looking forward to next week, knowing that there's probably going to be some wonderful Abbott Thanksgiving togetherness, which Tracy will be there for. She's just always the wise and compassionate one, and it doesn't equal intense drama, but sometimes it just brings a little bit of common sense onto the show that you can, you maybe not every episode can have it, but when it's there, you just really appreciate it, or that's how I feel anyway. But I loved that Tracy said, you know what, to Phyllis, I don't have a speech prepared for you about what you did to my brother. Frankly, it's none of my business. Thank you. I mean, at least somebody in the Abbott family, especially when you compare it to Ashley and how judgmental she's been. It's just nice to see somebody in this town saying, it's you. It's whatever, it's not me. It's not about me. It's about you and Jack and your relationship. I almost kind of wish Tracy would have a run-in with Sharon or somebody. She's so empathetic. I mean, the woman lost her daughter, gave her daughter's heart to Victor of all people. I mean, Tracy has just always been such a wise owl, and I can't say enough how much I liked seeing her. But at the same time, I think that if Jack and Phyllis do get back together, it's completely fine with me. I mean, I always liked Jack and Phyllis together. I think that these two actors have a good chemistry. I've always thought the characters have a good chemistry, but at the same time, I'm also not going to forget that Billy and Phyllis were pledging their love to each other like a few months ago. Why, for the last 3 weeks, is every Friday episode about Lily and Kane with absolutely no follow-up for the rest of the week. So it's Monday through Thursday, nothing about Lily and Kane, and then all of a sudden on the Friday show, it's Kane is a workaholic, and then nothing. I don't know where we're going with this, and I think maybe it frustrates me because I want to talk about it, because this is why in our chat, I got to come up with something to say about this, but I don't know what to say. Kane's a workaholic. What more do I have to work with here? Lily is being infinitely patient with him while he's in the hospital, not wanting to allow himself time to recover from his surgery. He's there with his little yellow notepad writing down notes about how Brash and Sassy's gonna beat the Jabot Go app, and Lily is just saying to him, can you just chill for a minute? Can you allow yourself some recovery time? But no, you gotta take my notes, call Billy and Victoria and brainstorm with them. And I mean, she did a phenomenal job. I would love to see Lily at Brash and Sassy all of a sudden having this great career there. Maybe even a little bit of friendly competition between Lily and Kane. Is this all transitioning to Lily maybe taking a part-time job or something at Brash and Sassy? I don't know what what any of this means. The only thing I know is that if I were Lily, I would have offered to shove that writing pad of his right where the sun don't shine. I guess I gave you a very tricky who said it quote last week because only 2 people got it right. The quote from last week was, "Thank God the lies are behind us now." Of course, in reference to Sharon, and the person who said it was Victor Newman. He said it to Nick during that scene at the tack house with Noah and Summer there too, and Noah lashed back and they all had that fight. And I just thought it was a catchy line coming from the great and powerful Victor Newman. Thank God the lies are behind us now, when Victor knows darn well that the lies are not behind them. He's standing there in Nick's face saying, "Thank God the lies are behind us now," what Sharon did when he's keeping a major lie from Nick too. I just thought it was too rich for me to pass up, but it really could have been anybody. There were so many people finding out about that last week that it was a hard one, but Henry got it right and Tanya got it right. So congratulations, you guys. You caught that one, and it was a really good little line there. So the one I got for this week I really like too. I have a feeling you're going to have caught this, but here it goes. "I've been called many things in my time, but Puritan is not one of them." That's kind of perfect for Thanksgiving week too. So do you know who said that line? "I've been called many things in my time, but Puritan is not one of them." If you think you know who said that quote during this past week's show, you can go to yrchat.com, leave your guess right there on the site. You'll see where you can do it. And if you get it right, I will give you your props during next week's YNR chat. Oh boy, let's get to the Chatterbox because you guys were sounding off about Sharon this week. I really love that you guys are commenting also as the show is happening, because then the comments that I get to read for this week are super relevant to the Thursday, Friday, the freshest shows. So it is really appreciated that you guys are sounding off about the juicy storylines as they're happening. Sharita left me a voicemail and she says, "I feel bad for Sharon, but she needs to take more responsibility. Everything that is happening is her fault. She's lucky that Nick decided not to go further. She should just lay low, but I don't think she knows how. I think it's only going to get worse before it gets better." I'm glad you zeroed in, Sharita, on the fact that everything that's happening is her fault. That was a line that Dylan said to her. It's so interesting to see Dylan both defending her and trying to protect his wife, but at the same time, he's not denying how he feels, and he is trying to hold her more accountable. I was shocked when he looked at her and said, "Sharon, yeah, he's not our son. Sully's not our son. Sully never existed, and you need to take some responsibility. Everything is your fault. This is your fault." It was kind of shocking to see Dylan laying it down so sharply and being so blunt with her. And I like your perspective on that, because I think I probably do tend to defend Sharon quite, maybe even a little bit too much. I think that it's in part her fault. I don't think that Sharon started the chain of dominoes, but she didn't help herself. She made the lie. When she decided to lie about the paternity is when it became her fault, and when she really created the bigger mess that she's in right now. So to an extent, yeah, I think it is. Jasmine at yrchat.com says, "I'm sorry, but everyone's being really unfair to Sharon. The Newman family felt bad for Sharon when she lost Cassie. Now they don't see that she lost another child. Also, they have all done bad stuff without being drugged, so they should not be judging." Jasmine, I really like your point about that, because I think that if Sharon would have told the truth from the beginning, or when she found out, maybe they would have had a little more empathy toward her, understanding that she lost Cassie and understanding that this is a loss of a child. It is a loss of a child to Sharon. And I think that that's something that is not being as focused on. So that's another reason why I'm glad Sharon is getting her perspective out there, that she's advocating herself. She lost a child. She was wronged. And I think if she just would have been honest about that from the beginning, this whole story would have been different, but far less interesting. Daisy on Facebook says, Dylan has had to correct Sharon a few times this week because she keeps referring to Christian as Sully and as her baby. It doesn't seem that reality has sunk in for her or that she wants it to. Not long after Sharon's miscarriage, she told Mariah that she was pregnant again and no longer had to worry about losing Dylan. Back then I thought maybe Sharon was lying, but now I'm wondering if that's when Sharon had a break with reality. Maybe Sharon didn't lie. Maybe Sharon deluded herself into believing she was pregnant, and then Dr. Anderson, unbeknownst to Sharon, made the world that existed only in Sharon's mind a reality. Now, Sharon can't let go of that world because it's become who she is. So I think it's possible that Sharon will kidnap Christian at some point, perhaps Faith too, just to keep her fantasy world alive. And I can definitely see this happening if and when Nick rejects her. Wow, that is like it's a deep psychological dig, Daisy. I love that. You're really getting in to the Sharon Newman psychology. That is just brilliant. I think that what I like about your theory there is that it also brings into account Sharon's mental illness in a way. We know that Sharon has had breaks with reality, and maybe that is where we are right now. I don't know if what we're seeing from Sharon is the beginning of her having a breakdown and not connecting with reality and maybe taking those kids, or if it is just her having a hard time adjusting to her new reality. But I think what you're really, really right about is that she decided that this was true. Sharon had to accept that the lie was reality in order to continue and protect the lie. Lizzie K at yrchat.com is a new YNR chatter. She's just discovered the chat, and welcome. I was really impressed that everybody kind of chimed in and was welcoming her too on the blog. You guys are so nice. Like I can't say it enough that I appreciate how nice all of the YNR chatters are. You guys are just good people. And Lizzie K, welcome to the chat. Let me look at your comment this week. It says, I am deeply disappointed in what they've done to Sharon's character. I remember seeing that fresh, young, beautiful face gracing my screen, and I instantly fell in love with her and Nick's romance. But seeing how they've destructed her over the years, it breaks my heart. I love Sharon, but seeing that they've made her insane and bipolar and a thief and a baby switcher, my anger for the writers has increased. Hopefully for the new year, and with Dylan leaving the show, the writers will revamp her character. Lizzie K, I remember Sharon when she first came onto the show too, and I almost wonder if we're thinking of the same scene. She was just so young and so fresh, and I know there's like there have been these shots of her little angelic face just looking across the room, and I mean she's always been an angel, but she very quickly did develop some dirty wings, and I think that it's just really snowballed over the years. But I know exactly how you feel because I remember her and Nick's romance and how fresh she was, and it is difficult to watch how far and how dark they've taken her. But I like also Lot Fally's comment at yrchat.com saying, I'm a big Sharon fan and I like how her character has developed over the years. I think it's a much deeper, more nuanced role than it used to be, and Sharon Case does a great job projecting vulnerability and making us feel sympathy for her regardless of her many mistakes. Lot Fally, I'm glad that you mentioned that because that's something I haven't heard anybody else say this week, and it's so true. Sharon Case is awesome. I mean, let's say what we will about Sharon and the character and everything that she's been going through, but man, if Sharon Case does not bring it, I just don't know who does. Tina Cole at yrchat.com says, I feel that Chelsea is on some level in the same place as Mariah is when it came to Sharon's secret. Both of them shared a heavy secret. Both of them had no control over the decisions and the outcome in each situation. It wasn't Mariah's secret to share, and Chelsea's holding the weight of Adam's decision to switch the paternity test results. Really good point, Tina Cole. I had not even made that connection between Mariah and Chelsea, but I especially like what you're saying about Chelsea there. It isn't really necessarily her secret to tell. I mean, it was Adam's decision to switch the paternity test results, if indeed that was true. So that lends a little bit more sense, too, to maybe what could be going through Chelsea's mind. Good point. Jamie left me a voicemail and she says, Allie, I'm having a hard time with Sharon's attitude. I know she's hurting, but I feel like she's being really selfish. Will there be a change when Sally Sussman's episodes start airing on December 7th? So December 7th, that's coming up pretty soon. I kind of hope so. I mean, I think we've been saying for a long time that Sharon is just a legacy character. We want to see strong Sharon. I mean, people have been saying that about Nikki and we started getting it. And so maybe Sally Sussman, the new writer, head writer, will be able to bring us something a little bit different for Sharon's character. Jamie also mentioned an article that a couple other people had mentioned to me this week about Sally Sussman saying outright, Adam's not coming back. Justin Hartley is long gone. Fans should just stop talking about it. But I don't know. Jamie mentioned maybe that's a red herring. Maybe they're just throwing that out there to trick us so that we'll be extra surprised when Adam does come back. I mean, because why are they giving us all these little memories of Adam? I don't know, maybe they just want to see us scramble. Maybe they want to see the fans scramble. But I'm never going to believe that they're not going to bring Adam back. He's far too important of a character. I still think he's going to be back 2017. Adam Newman 2017. Oh, okay. Gary. Oh, this is good. Gary left me a voicemail. Well, first, I want to mention that he said he was really, really taken with the dialogue between Faith and Dylan. It was like she was a little adult, Gary says. How old is Faith supposed to be? I wonder that too, Gary. How old is Faith? Because she really seems like she's 35. And like you, I did really like the scene with Dylan and Faith, and I thought it was paralleled very nicely and very similarly as the scene between Chelsea and Faith. I mean, I know, Gary, like me, it's like, Faith can be annoying. And I've had so many people that have said to me, thank you, Allie, for just telling it like it is. Faith can be annoying. She is sometimes a spoiled little brat. But I really think that YNR switched something up that both of those scenes didn't annoy me. I thought they were great. And then also, Gary says, Allie, you've got to be shaking your head for all those mean years. You wouldn't even give Chelsea the time of day. And now she's one of our very best. I do think about that a lot, honestly, because when Chelsea first came onto the scene, I didn't like her. And I was not silent about it. I was very vocal about Chelsea not being one of my favorite characters. And now I see what what the characters brought to the show, what the actress has brought to the show. And I'll tell you what, the main reason I didn't like Chelsea when she first came on was because she was coming in between my Sharon and my Adam. I loved the Michael Mooney, Sharon Cates, Sharon Adam romance. I was in for that. And when YNR decided to break them up and start gravitating him toward this new grifter character, I just had this chip on my shoulder like a typical fan. And I wasn't willing to give Chelsea a chance. But over the course of the years, yes, I have come around. I do like Chelsea very much. Anna left me a voicemail also, and she says, all I could think of when Victoria and Travis were together was, I hope Travis showered in between. Anna says, he's making a fool out of Victoria. I agree, Anna, and I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I think all of us were, right? I mean, as Travis migrated from his sex scene with Michelle to smooching all up on Victoria, I mean, where would he have showered? Because Michelle occupied the shower immediately. So unless he stopped at a truck stop to shower himself off, he was going from Michelle to Victoria. Ew. And she said she could smell a different cologne on him. Ugh. Gross. That made me feel extra vomitous. I'm glad to know I wasn't the only one thinking that. I think maybe we all were. Anna says also my favorite part of the birthday party was Nikki and Victor and Jill looking down on Sharon, all with the judgment. Yeah, I do. I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't have another place for it. But yeah, seeing Nikki and Jill and Victor together was very fun and funny too. I think, who was it? Was it Nikki said something like, I wonder what Catherine would say about all of this. Or was it, let me think, I wrote it. Yeah, Nikki said that. I wonder what Catherine would have to say about all of this. I'm sure she would probably, what do you guys think? Why don't you tell me? What would Catherine say about this whole thing with Sharon? That's another good question for this week. If you think you know what Catherine's reaction would be to all of the Sharon craziness, knowing that Catherine caused a little bit of craziness too in her day, why don't you leave me a comment and let me know if you want to channel your Catherine-ness. Aaron on YouTube says, let's not forget how Victoria spent 10 years cleaning up Billy's messes with the drinking, the gambling, the betting at the racetracks, and let's not forget he did cheat on Victoria 2 times, once with Kelly and lied about that, and he cheated and had a baby out on his wife with Chelsea, and that's how they have Johnny. Boom, Aaron. Way to tell that one like it is. I mean, you know I'm on board with what a mess Billy Abbott has been. I wouldn't put up with his ass for 5 minutes, let alone a decade. But I forgot about him cheating on Victoria with Chelsea. I don't remember that at all, but I remember gosh, I don't even remember Johnny's conception, but I'll take your word for that. Superplex at yrchat.com says, Jack did not sign the divorce papers. Back to being the spineless jellyfish that he was last summer. Thank you, Superplex. You're the only person who mentioned that this week. I thought I was going crazy or seeing things or something, but so that's confirmation right there. Jack didn't sign his divorce papers with Phyllis. They're not divorced. That means they're probably never going to end up getting officially divorced, right? Oh man, he should be like, Matt, he shouldn't be putting distance there, right? As much as I like them as a couple, it's weird to go back to your wife after she totally slept with your brother, right? I just think I'd put my foot down too. Oh well, what are we gonna do? It's still a good show. It's still giving us a lot of drama, and I guess we're just gonna have to accept that these characters don't make the same decisions that we would make. I suppose I wouldn't want them to. Boy, your comments were really good this week. I hope you keep them coming. yrchat.com is an awesome place to leave comments and to interact with other people. Like I said, I really like it when you guys are commenting about the current show too, because that gives me more to pull from, and so I can make sure that the comments are super relevant to what's going on currently in the show. So yrchat.com if you want to leave comments all over the blog. From there, you can also go to the YouTube page and the Facebook page. You can find the podcast. You can even leave a review on iTunes for the podcast. So there's lots of different ways that you can leave your feedback about YNR Chat or about the show, especially about the show. You guys are really awesome. I got so many emails this week about people getting their soap. Marianne emailed me, said she got her soap. Nicole got the 2 soaps that she won in the giveaway. Kathy got her soaps. Anna got her soaps and lotions. Melissa and Maureen called, and they got Grandma Nancy some soaps for her birthday. So it makes me so happy to hear everybody's gotten their soapy packages and that you're enjoying them. It's just like, it's so personal because these are soaps that I made based on YNR. They're soaps that I'm using, and it's just nice to be able to send something out to you guys. So thanks to everybody who has gotten the soaps and enjoyed them and sent me feedback about them. Oh, I did a video. I posted a new video this week of me cutting and dusting the Victoria soap. So if you're interested in seeing a little bit of the behind the scenes on how I didn't make the soap on camera, but if you want to see the full soap loaf and how I cut it and decorated it and all of that, you can go to genoacitysoap.com. And the Victoria one is really pretty. I mean, I'm cutting the soap. The video is me cutting the soap for the first time and seeing the inside of it, and I watch it back and I'm like, I'm holding them like they're my own little soap babies. Like they're so delicate. The Victoria soap was just so beautiful and I was just dazzled by it. Victoria deserves better than to be cheated on by Travis. She's just so pretty. Oh, anyway, so GenoaCitySoap.com if you want to see that new video and a little behind the scenes and a little something different from me. And again, yrchat.com if you want to leave your comments about the show. It's all good and I love hearing from you. And I am intending to be back next week. I should probably start mentioning at the end of all of the YNR chats, just in case you're new and you don't know that I'll be having a baby here pretty soon. So it's less than 3 weeks now, and you never kind of know. I don't feel like it's gonna be happening before next Sunday, but just in case you don't hear from me, you can also go to the website and I'll have a notice there or something to let you guys know that I'm okay. But I fully intend to be back next Sunday. The baby's still cooking. We're not ready yet. But I hope that you guys have a really good rest of your week and a good Thanksgiving. Marianne also emailed me and said that there's not going to be a YNR Thursday and Friday. So I guess we're only getting Monday through Wednesday. I wonder if they're going to do a flashback show. Probably not. Thursday will probably be the parade. And then Friday, I wonder if they'll do something like golf or boring or something. But I wish they'd do a classic episode. That would be my preference, but I don't always get my way. But either way, we'll have 3 episodes next week. We'll make the most of them. We'll come back. We'll chat about it on Sunday, and we'll enjoy. So everybody, happy Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. If you're abroad, I'll eat some dry turkey. Some dry turkey for you. And we'll come back next Sunday and chat again about the show. Okay, everybody, I love ya. Bye.